Yeah, listen, it's an interesting fight. I like Canelo. I think too big, too young, too strong.
Freddie, what's your scouting report on Canelo? How would you describe him as a fighter overall?
He's a good puncher. He's a very good right hand. I mean, he's a little bit dangerous. He's young. I mean, he's a little bit. I'm not sure how durable he is, though. But the thing is, I think he can be broke down, and I think he fatigues in the middle rounds quite often in most of his fights. I mean, he's very good early, and I think in the later rounds he fades a little bit.
Freddie, you have questioned his conditioning and work ethic, haven't you? Why?
Because he trained at Wildcard West for quite a while, and he didn't show up every day, and I get reports every day when he did show up and when he didn't, and one time they couldn't find him for a week. So, but you got a young kid that has the world by the balls. I think he's going to do what he wants.
Cotto Canelo, how do you break that down?
Canelo.
Why?
Lose.
He's gonna lose?
I got Cotto.
Why?
Because I think experience going to play a big factor, and I think Canelo going to be too much for him. Only way I see Canelo winning is if he wears Cotto down and the youth play a big factor in that fight.
Weeks from tonight, Cotto Canelo, are you going to be there?
Yeah, hopefully.
If Cotto's watching, I know you're going for him. You even told me 500 push-ups if Cotto wins. What do you tell Miguel Cotto tonight if he's watching this video?
Use your jab.
You think that's his key to win? What does Canelo need to do to win?
I can't tell you that if we got a bet.
I think it's pick and fight. I really can't. I can't tell you who should be favored. I mean, Freddie Roach has done an amazing job with Cotto, and he's gotten better and better in the last few fights. But all three of those opponents were compromised. Canelo has fought much tougher opposition in his recent fights, and the fact that he could beat guys like Erislandy Lara, and when a lot of people thought he shouldn't fight him, and Austin Trout, when a lot of people thought he shouldn't fight him, and the way he beat James Kirkland. He appears to be a rising tide.
Because Cotto is such a great boxer, and Cotto is a boxer puncher. Canelo, we haven't seen enough of him to prove that he hasn't passed a real test yet. Because the only test he truly had was Floyd Mayweather. He did fight Erislandy Lara, but that fight was controversial. He did fight who else he fought? What a name?
Trout. They both fought Trout.
Yeah, but he did okay with Trout. Canelo got beat. Cotto got beat by Trout, but Trout he did beat pretty good. He could put a boxing list on Trout, but at the same time, in Cotto's heyday, he put a boxing list on Shane Mosley. Whereas Canelo kind of beat Shane Mosley, but he's way bigger than Shane Mosley, and he should have really got Shane Mosley out, I figured. So that's why there's so much 50-50, because although he did better with Trout, Cotto did better with Mosley. So with that being said, it's like it's hard to pick who's gonna win. You understand me? And with Cotto being reemerged by Freddie Roach, this re-energizing thing that has happened with him, it makes it pretty rough. You know what I'm saying? It makes it hard to go against him.
Cotto Canelo.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight. I like Canelo. Respect what he's done for the sport. Cotto, been a Cotto fan from the beginning. We're stable mates, and I just know it's going to be a great fight, man. And the fans are going to get their money's worth.
It's a real fight that we have on November 21st.
Oscar, what weaknesses do you see in Miguel Cotto?
Weaknesses?
If you could help out Canelo.
Well, and this is something very interesting. I was telling Canelo is Miguel Cotto was a southpaw like me. He's lefty naturally. I know my weaknesses, so therefore I know Cotto's weaknesses, and I can't wait to share with him in training camp, which I'm going to be visiting Canelo twice a week in San Diego, and giving him some tips and advices and not on how to beat Cotto, but just to give him some inside information on how to land those perfect punches against a natural southpaw like Cotto. So you asked about the weaknesses. There's a lot, because I had a lot, and I'm not gonna reveal them to you right now, because I know Miguel Cotto is gonna be reading your blog or your website. So I'm gonna go out there to San Diego and share them with Canelo.
I just think they've done a very good job of helping to restore Cotto. He's done a good job, dedicated himself, turned himself over to Freddie Roach, the trainer, and had the right opponents. But he's now fighting a very good or outstanding younger fighter, and I think it's a tough fight for Cotto. Well, look, Cotto has shown that he can hurt guys as a middleweight. Remember, he started his career as a junior welterweight. Canelo has to prove that his last fight was showed that he's ready to mix it up with somebody who wants to mix it up. So yeah, I think that Canelo has to prove himself, but I think the age difference and skill difference is perhaps the difference in the fight.
Alvarez is because of he's in his prime right now. You know, from what I see him fight Angulo, which Cotto was on Angulo, he looked like he took some of the things for the Floyd fight. He's a good boxer. We just got to be tuned in to see that.
Ну вот это хороший бой, это тот бой, который, мне кажется, вот, интригует. Этот бой буду смотреть обязательно. Сказать, кто выиграет, не могу, так как оба боксера очень хорошие. И Альварес очень талантливый молодой боксер, который просто, ну вот, я думаю, что в этом бою Котто будет очень тяжело выиграть. Ну, так что будем болеть, буду смотреть, буду болеть. Понятно, что буду болеть за Котто, так как он мне ближе. Но кто выиграет, не могу сказать.
Now this is a great fight, definitely a fight I'll be watching. Definitely I'll be, rooting for Miguel Cotto as one of my teammates. But it's a tough fight for Miguel. Alvarez is a young fighter. Very dedicated, very motivated. So I think it will be a tough fight for both guys. But it's hard to predict. But I think it will be a great fight, and we'll see.
I can't wait for it. I can't really say who would win just because they're both great fighters.
Who do you think you would favor? Like if you had to pick somebody?
It's 50-50. Realistically, it's 50-50. Like they both have really good attributes and both of them, like it's up in the air. Nobody, I don't feel, has an advantage in this. So, and that's what makes it a really great fight.
El ganador de Lemieux contra Golovkin va a tener que pelear contra el ganador de Cotto contra Canelo. ¿Qué opinas tú de Cotto-Canelo?
Que va a ser otra gran pelea, va a ser una pelea muy difícil, muy equilibrada. Lo mejor de todo es que yo hoy en día, como todos los fanáticos, vamos a ver grandes peleas de peso medio.
It's still going to be a great fight. It's going to be there for both of them. And you know what? The best thing is that I'm going to be there as a fan now and I can enjoy the fight. It's going to be a great fight.
Sobre la pelea de Cotto y Canelo.
Una pelea dura, porque Cotto, el que va a pelear con Cotto no es igual que el que peleó con él, que se llama Maravilla. Y esta pelea va a ser dura. Y acuérdate que Canelo es grande y alto y pega fuerte y aguantan. Entonces esta pelea la veo un poquito dura para Cotto.
I see a very tough fight for Cotto. Canelo is strong, he's big, I see the fight very, very, very difficult for Cotto.
What's your prediction? Who would you say?
Predicción con que es que termine la.
Bueno, que los dos son amigos míos y yo creo que va a haber knockout, pero no voy a decir. Porque no voy a ninguno de los dos porque mis dos son mis amigos.
Both are my friends, however, I think it's going to end by KO.